Fourth grade, get loud. Fifth grade, stand proud.
Huh.
I have to be honest with you, I was walking around my kitchen this morning with a coffee in one hand, just trying to get that rhythm right.
It's so catchy.
It is dangerously catchy. Freedom fighters, show your might, get loud, get loud. It really wakes you up.
It does, and it's so effective because it's not just a rhyme, right? It's an anthem.
Yeah.
It's designed to get a whole room full of, energetic kids on the same page instantly.
A collective identity.
It's tribal, really, in the best possible way.
And that is exactly where we're starting today. We aren't just reading a children's book. We are analyzing a masterclass in world building and audience engagement.
Totally.
We've got a transcript from a live interactive event. It's hosted by the author, Dr. Geraldine Calhoun. She goes by Doc G.
And she is putting on a clinic here.
She really is.
Right. And for anyone listening who might be thinking, okay, a fourth grade book reading, why do I care? You really need to look at the mechanics here. What Doc G is doing is, well, it's a high-level demonstration of narrative persuasion. She's taking a room full of distracted kids and using these very specific psychological triggers to build a universe in real time.
Yes.
So whether you're a parent, a marketer, a leader, the way she commands attention is just fascinating.
That is the mission for this deep dive. We're going to unpack how she builds this world, the specific archetypes she uses to make the kids feel seen, and all the interactive tricks she uses to create curiosity.
Right, because she doesn't just tell a story.
No.
She engineers an experience.
Yeah.
And it starts with her totally manipulating the environment.
Okay, let's get into that. The vibe. So in the source, she invites the audience into a vibrant community center.
But she doesn't just, put a picture up on a screen.
No, she builds it inside their heads.
And this is a key distinction. She uses a sensory visualization exercise. She starts by comparing it to a modern-day YMCA.
You give them a cognitive anchor.
Exactly. Something they recognize. A place for games, arts, and crafts,
Yeah.
But then she does something very deliberate.
She asks everyone to close their eyes.
Which is a bold move with a room full of elementary schoolers. I mean, you're basically asking for chaos there.
You really are. But she pivots right away to, what is it, olfactory priming.
Yeah, the sense of smell.
Yeah.
She asks them to imagine the warm, buttery scent of freshly baked cookies.
It's brilliant.
It's so brilliant because smell is the sense that's most strongly linked to memory and emotion.
Right.
So by saying freshly baked cookies, she's not just describing a room, she's triggering a physiological response.
Yeah.
Safety, warmth, home. She's literally lowering the cortisol levels in the room by suggesting a smell.
And then she layers in the soundscape, the cheerful hum of kids laughing. And I found this interesting. She asked them, did you feel it? Did you see it? Did you smell it? She creates this feedback loop.
She's teaching them how to be active participants. If she just said, it smelled like cookies, that's just passive information.
Right.
By asking, did you smell it? She forces their brains to synthesize it. It anchors you in this safe space before she even introduces any conflict.
So we're safe, we're warm, we smell imaginary cookies. Now we need some people.
The squad.
Yes, the freedom fighters. And this is the section I found most interesting from a psychological profiling perspective.
Wow.
She introduces 3 specific characters, but she treats them like avatars in a video game. She wants the kids to self-select.
It's a classic simplified Myers-Briggs approach. You offer these distinct archetypes so every single person in the room has a mirror.
So everyone can see themselves.
If you don't see yourself in the story, you're not going to care about the story. She makes sure everyone cares.
Let's start with the first one, Benjamin.
The mastermind.
The mastermind of imagination. Doc G calls him a puzzle master, a creative force, but she really emphasizes his humor. It's apparently unmatchable.
Yeah, Benjamin is the idea guy. He's the divergent thinker. In a classroom or, a boardroom, this is the person who throws out 10 ideas a minute.
9 of them are bad.
9 are bad, but 1 is brilliant. His superpower is invention.
And there's a note in the source material where Doc G says Benjamin was the series starter, the very first character she created.
Which says a lot.
It does. She says he's a symbol for every single child she has ever taught.
Wow. That's a heavy statement. But it suggests that she sees the core of childhood as that raw, chaotic creativity.
Potential energy?
Exactly. He's the spark. But sparks are volatile. You can't build a team with just sparks. You'd burn the building down.
And that's where the second archetype comes in. Ruby.
The anchor.
Doc G calls her unstoppable, unbeatable Ruby. I love that. She's the problem solver.
If Benjamin is the kite, Ruby's the string. She's described as determined, intelligent, and specifically as the rock for Benjamin.
So is it fair to call her the responsible one?
Huh, maybe. But I think responsible kind of diminishes her role. It's not just about following rules, it's about execution.
Ah, okay.
Doc, she says Ruby's the one who's ready to help a friend or crack a tough puzzle when everyone else gives up. She's resilience, she's grit.
And there's a nice parallel here, too. Doc G says Ruby also represents every child she's taught.
Right. So every kid has the spark, that's Benjamin, and every kid has the capacity for resilience, that's Ruby.
So it's not an either thing.
Not in the author's mind, no. Even if she asks them to pick one for a moment.
But then we get to the third character, and this is where I think the model gets really sophisticated. Because usually in these trios, you get the hero, the sidekick,
On
and
the comic relief, maybe?
yeah. But here we have Joshua.
The quiet genius.
He's my favorite.
He's the newest character to the series, and his description is so specific, analytical, insightful, sees patterns where other people just see chaos.
This is a crucial inclusion, because in a lot of kids' media, and frankly in adult corporate culture, it's the loud, extroverted Benjamin types who get all the glory.
Right.
By introducing Joshua, Doc G is validating the introverts. She's putting a spotlight on the kids who are usually overlooked. She uses the word precision, sharpness, and she acknowledges the pain point. She says he feels like he doesn't quite fit in. He's the kid in the corner, observing.
That's the relatability hook. She's telling the listeners, if you are the watcher, the one who doesn't raise their hand right away, you are powerful too.
He's a deep thinker.
Exactly. It reframes silence as a strategic advantage. It tells the kid in the back of the room, you're not shy, you're strategizing.
So we have the creative spark, Benjamin, the resilient rock, Ruby, and the deep thinker, Joshua. And then she turns to the audience and asks the big question.
Which one are you?
And that's the engagement lock-in.
It is. Once a child, or an adult for that matter, identifies with a character,
Yeah.
the stakes of the story become personal.
It's not just Benjamin solving a puzzle, it's you solving it.
Right. But she adds a little twist here that I didn't expect. She told them these traits aren't fixed.
Oh, that's right, the growth mindset application. She says it's never too late to adopt the character traits to become a better student or a better friend.
Yeah. It's a very empowering message. You might wake up feeling like a Joshua, quiet and reserved, but the situation might demand you act like a Ruby.
So she's teaching behavioral flexibility.
She's saying, here is your toolkit. Pick the right tool for the job.
So before we get to the plot, and there is a plot, we should probably talk about the architect of all this, Dr. Geraldine Calhoun.
Doc G, educator, author, speaker. What really stands out in the source is the origin story of these books. This wasn't some top-down product.
No, it was a bottom-up creation. She says the freedom fighter's storyline came from stories she wrote specifically for her own students.
It was a feedback loop. Her students were the beta testers. They were the ones who encouraged her to share the stories with the world because they saw themselves in them.
That desire for representation.
Exactly. She wasn't writing at them. She was writing for them.
It explains why the archetypes feel so specific and real. They're probably composites of hundreds of actual kids she's known over the years.
Authenticity comes from observation, not just imagination. You can tell she knows these kids.
Okay, so she has the room primed. They smell the cookies. They've picked their avatars. Now she needs to drop the hook. She needs a conflict.
And she uses the oldest, most effective trick in the book.
The forbidden door.
The do not enter sign. The inciting incident is Benjamin and Ruby finding a mysterious door at the back of the community center.
And the visuals she paints are great. The sign says, authorized personnel only.
Which, to a kid, basically translates to, come in, please.
Precisely, the ultimate temptation.
But she layers a puzzle on top of the prohibition. There are letters and numbers blending together underneath the sign, and there's a hidden entrance above it.
So you have this conflict. The sign says stop, but the puzzle says solve me. It creates this immediate cognitive dissonance.
And she leverages that tension to force a moral choice. She actually asks the audience, what would you do?
Open it. Tell a teacher.
Tell a friend. And this circles right back to the architects, doesn't it?
Completely. If you identified as a Ruby, you're probably thinking, we should find an adult.
And if you're a Benjamin, you're already halfway up the wall.
And Joshua is analyzing the font on the sign to see if it's a forgery.
Huh, exactly. She's testing their character alignment in real time. But then, and this is the part that made me laugh out loud, she pivots to an interactive exercise.
She tells them to grab a notebook and a snack.
And she specifically mentions ice cream or warming up a cookie again. She is relentless with that sensory comfort.
She wants them in a positive, dopamine-rich state so they can create.
Yep.
And she gives them a prompt, draw or write what you would hide behind a secret door. But she sets constraints. And the constraints are hilarious.
Well, constraints are vital for creativity. If you say draw anything, people freeze.
Paralysis of choice.
Right.
Yeah.
But where constraints are, well, they're perfect. One, it cannot be a baby brother or a baby sister.
She says, I knew it. No. She knows her audience so well.
She knows every older sibling in that room wants to lock the baby away.
And two, it cannot be a cupcake.
Because you just eat it.
It would be stupid to hide it. But by banning the mundane and the instant gratification, she forces them to think bigger.
She pushes them toward genre fiction. She suggests lost treasure or a dragon.
And then she drops the breadcrumb, the massive clue,
The time machine.
with a hint added to that one.
That is so significant. That changes everything. If an author says hint, hint about a time machine in a story called Freedom Fighters, well,
We're about to break the laws of physics.
yes,
Okay.
time machine in the back of a YMCA. I love that juxtaposition. It takes the ordinary safe place with the cookies.
And completely destabilizes it. It raises the stakes. We're not just solving puzzles anymore. We might be rewriting history.
Or visiting the future. It moves the genre from school story to sci-fi adventure in 2 words.
So everybody's hyped. The kids are drawing time machines. We're ready to see what's behind the door. And then what'd she do?
She ends the session.
She doesn't open the door.
She keeps it closed. The source material ends without the reveal.
Mm-hmm.
She just tells them they have to wait for the next live.
That is, I mean, it's cruel, but it's brilliant marketing.
It's the Zeigarnik effect in action.
The what?
The Zeigarnik effect. It's a psychological phenomenon where people remember uncompleted tasks or interrupted stories better than completed ones.
An open loop.
Your brain hates an open loop. It wants to close it. By leaving that door shut, she ensures the story stays active in their minds long after the event is over.
So they're going to be thinking about that door at dinner, at school tomorrow.
Exactly. If she showed them the time machine, they'd say, cool, and move on. By not showing them, she guarantees they will come back. She's cultivating a hunger for the next chapter.
And she connects this to her educational philosophy, right? She wants them to keep asking questions.
Every great story begins with a spark of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
That's the line. If you give the answer, the curiosity dies. If you withhold it, the spark turns into a flame.
Okay, so stepping back, what are the big takeaways for us here? We've got the anthem, the diverse squad of thinkers, the mystery.
I think the core theme here is the integration of diversity. And not just demographic diversity, but cognitive diversity.
Right.
You've got the mastermind, the rock, the genius. The implication is that you cannot solve the puzzle of the door with just one type of thinking.
Can't just have 3 Benjamins. You'd have a lot of jokes and half-finished inventions.
Exactly. You need Benjamin to have the crazy idea, Joshua to notice the pattern on the lock, and Ruby to have the courage to actually turn the handle. It's a model for teamwork.
And she wraps it all in this ethos of making a difference. The source mentions a drive to light the night.
That phrase comes from the anthem. It's such a powerful metaphor, books in hand, shining bright. It frames education not as a chore, but as a form of illumination.
A way to push back the darkness.
Right. It gives the kids a mission beyond just getting good grades.
And practically speaking, for anyone listening who has to present or tell a story, her use of the 5 senses is a masterstroke.
Absolutely. Don't just tell me it was a nice room. Tell me it smelled like cookies. Anchor your audience in the physical reality of the story.
It makes the memory sticky.
We remember what we feel, not just what we hear.
So Doc G leaves us with a final instruction. Never stop asking questions. And she lived up to that by leaving us with a giant question mark behind that door.
She certainly did. And I am honestly still wondering if it's a time machine.
Oh, it has to be. You don't drop a hint about a time machine unless you're going to go time traveling.
Unless it's a total red herring. That would be even more diabolical.
Oh, don't say that. Now I really need to know. But that brings us to the challenge for you listening right now. Think about that final image, the Freedom Fighters books in hand, lighting the night.
And ask yourself the question Doc G asked her students. Which freedom fighter are you?
Are you the Benjamin? The creative mastermind cracking jokes and inventing solutions on the fly?
Are you the Ruby? The determined rock who helps everyone else and just gets the job done?
Or are you the Joshua, the quiet genius, observing the patterns from the corner that everyone else misses?
Or maybe, as Doc G implies, you can be a little bit of all of them. You have access to all 3, depending on what the day requires.
I think I'm feeling like a Benjamin today. I've got a lot of wild ideas.
I'll be the Ruby then. I'll make sure we actually finish this
Great.
on time and upload the files correctly.
Fair enough. We need that balance. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Freedom Fighters universe. It's a great reminder that storytelling is a superpower.
Keep asking questions.
Keep that spark of curiosity alive.
And watch out for mysterious doors.
Always. We'll see you on the next deep dive.